The juice is loose.
So here's going to be a review for Beetlejuice, aka Beetlejuice 2. Saw the movie on its opening Thursday night in a non-premium format because I didn't really think it was worth it for this film. But the trailers for this movie were so intriguing, it looked like chaotic fun and that it could be Tim Burton's best and most entertaining movie in years. It made me feel guilty for not having watched the original Beetlejuice, so just a little bit behind on watching certain classics. Watched it for the first time about 3 weeks ago, and it definitely lived up to the expectations I had for it. You know, a pretty chaotic but entertaining movie. It's a crazy story idea that works though thanks to Michael Keaton's iconic character and the Burton aesthetic-like qualities. These days though, anything from 20 or even 30 years ago is a shoo-in to make a comeback. I mean, we just saw Michael Keaton come back as Batman last year in The Flash after 30 plus years away from the role. And now, 36 years after the original Beetlejuice, we have the sequel in Beetlejuice, with Keaton returning to star and Tim Burton returning to direct. In this film, 30 plus years since Beetlejuice terrorized Lydia, she's moved on and had a family of her own, but drama in her life with her daughter, plus drama Beetlejuice himself is going through, unleash his special brand of chaos in the afterlife and the living world. Tone-wise, the movie is in line with the original film, being a dark horror comedy that leans heavily into both genres thanks to the insanity behind its titular character. Even though the movie is called Beetlejuice though, the main character we follow is Lydia, played again by Winona Ryder. A lot of time has obviously passed though since she was that angsty goth emo teen she was in the original, and now she's a nervous, paranoid, overprotective adult. Personality-wise, I thought Lydia was more reminiscent of Ryder's Stranger Things character, but I guess no one stays the same forever, and it was fun to see Winona Ryder return to a role where she originally really made her name from. It's an immediately hilarious concept that even though she's a middle-aged adult, she still has that same gothic hairstyle, makeup, and fashion sense that she did when she was an emo teen. Despite this weirdness when it comes to her appearance, she's parlayed her ability to see ghosts and demons into a successful media career. Her main storyline of interest is trying to repair the relationship with her own angsty teen, Astrid, played by Jenny Ortega, who I also liked in the film also. It's a storyline that's not uncommon though, fairly predictable, except for a twist that really gets things going in the other direction. It's taken a while to actually talk about Beetlejuice himself, and that's part of the problem. It's kind of like the first film, where he's hardly the main character we follow throughout the film, and more so just like this one, he's sprinkled in here and there, while we mainly follow Lydia. This approach works in terms of making the Beetlejuice scenes more noteworthy, especially when he's interacting with alive characters and just going batshit crazy and scaring the hell out of them. To the film's credit though, I'm pretty sure he's actually in this film more than he was in the original. But I'd still reason that the film could have used more scenes with him because there's just large segments to the first half of this film when he's just not around. When he is there though, he's pretty chaotically entertaining. The best way to describe him is a demented demonic version of Genie from Aladdin, just doing whatever he wants and having a great time with it. Besides his continued ambitions to cause chaos in the real world and marry Lydia, his dilemma here in this film is having to deal with the return of his ghostly zombie ex-wife played by Monica Bellucci. It's shown from her first scene that she can wreck your pretty easily, as she can suck your soul, and when she does, you're dead even if you're already dead. This was all fine, but there was just nothing to the character through the film. Once she's reawakened, we occasionally see her go from scene to scene in the afterlife, sucking souls and looking for Beetlejuice. Just nothing to the character at all, but I guess the movie needed some kind of obstacle. I was, though, having a decent time with the movie despite the issues. It had plenty of Burton-type features in a good way, even if it wasn't the most engaging story. The movie's best story moment, though, that really catalyzes things, is a twist that happens roughly midway through the movie. I certainly hope that this wasn't shown in any of the trailers because it did really catch me off guard and added a whole nother level of intrigue in terms of what was going to happen next. As great as this twist moment was, the way it was resolved was just kind of It's almost like the movie said that, well, we gave you a cool gotcha moment, but we don't really know how to resolve it. I could honestly say the same thing for the stuff that happens with Beetlejuice's ex-wife. The resolution for that was equally as underwhelming, but I guess that matched what a nothing character she was. The best thing the movie had going for it is the moments where it is leaning into that chaotic dark comedy energy. It's sprinkled in bits and pieces through the first 2/3 of the film, but it's the final third where Beetlejuice and Lydia's stories really come together that it's really just kind of all over the place, in a good way though. And I definitely was having fun with it. It's a lot of what made the first film iconic and why people love the Beetlejuice character. All this set to another great Danny Elfman score, but that's kind of synonymous with Burton films at this point, even more than Burton and Johnny Depp, and that's really saying something. These good things don't make it a great movie though, but I would say on the balancing scale, there was more that I liked than didn't like. So 7 out of 10 eyeballs for Beetlejuice. I'm working on a prototype non-numbered system for rating movies, so if I had to categorize it, I would say it's a solid time. The film did fluctuate throughout on going on the higher and lower end of that rating. I don't know what the they were thinking with the actual ending though. The original had such an emotionally satisfying ending, with Lydia embracing her weirdness and being welcomed into the ghostly family. This sequel does not have that when it comes to the ending, and unless there's already plans for a part 3 titled Beetlejuice, seems a weird way to end the sequel to a film from 36 years ago. But the film did feel like Tim Burton getting his mojo back in terms of making those quirky, aesthetically unique films that he made his name for, but I still don't think he's really made a great film since 2007's Sweeney Todd. And speaking of that, look out for an upcoming ranking of Tim Burton films that should come sooner than later. So that'll do it for this review of Beetlejuice. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.